All right, Act 1, Scene 1 discussion of the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. So we have two of the Capulet servants walking down the street. It's a hot day. They're kind of telling dirty jokes, which I call locker room talk. That's been going on for a very long time. And then Abram, who is a servant of the Montague household, he basically asks Samson, he's like, "Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?" And Samson says, "I do bite my thumb, sir, but not at you, sir," which biting your thumb back in the day was the equivalent to flicking someone off. And so you have to understand that there was already tension between the Capulets and the Montagues. And then now we have these servants who are arguing. And then who comes into the picture is no other than which character that we have is going to be Benvolio. And he is like, "Y'all, put your weapons up. This is stupid. Let's don't fight." Because remember, Benvolio is all about keeping the peace. And then, of course, his character foil comes in, which, who is that? That's going to be Tybalt, who is hot-headed and pugnacious. Remember, a character foil is going to be someone, two characters that are completely opposite. Think of a piece of tinfoil, how you have a shiny side and you have a dull side that's opposite. So character foils are opposites. And so you've got Benvolio, who wants to keep the peace, and then you've got Tybalt, who just wants to fight it out. And then guess what? Tybalt pulls his weapon out and then begins a bloody battle in the downtown streets of Verona. And then after like innocent people are killed, the prince comes in with his train of people, and he says, "If ever you disturb the quiet of my streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit." So everybody jumped in on this fight, including Lord Montague and Lord Capulet. And so he's basically telling them, if you disturb my streets again with your silly grudges, then you're going to pay with your lives. And so we have kind of a break in the scene right there. And then he says, "Capulet, you come with me, and Montague, we'll talk later." So it's like they got called to the principal's office. Then after that, this is where Lady Montague's like, "Oh, where's Romeo today? So glad I am that he was not at this fray." Well, question, where is Romeo? Well, his dad says to Benvolio, "I haven't seen him." And then Benvolio was like, "You know what? I saw Romeo, and he was out crying in the woods, but he would run away from me every time I tried to talk to him. So why was Romeo crying?" And then Lord Montague says, "Well, you know what? I saw him crying too. He goes into his room and he makes a fake night. He pulls the curtain shut and all he does is cry." What? So we have the male protagonist of this play that is doing nothing but crying. Real attractive, right? Okay. So why is he crying? Nobody knows. And so Lord and Lady Montague are like, "Hey, Benvolio, you're his cousin and his BFF. Why don't you find out why Romeo's crying?" And so they go off and they leave Benvolio to talk to Romeo, because guess what? Here comes Romeo. And so Benvolio is talking to Romeo, and Romeo is just completely talking off his rocker. He uses different what we call oxymorons, which are two words that are put together that don't make any sense. For example, jumbo and shrimp, right? I thought a shrimp was small, so how can it be jumbo? And so basically Romeo tells Benvolio, he says, "Oh, heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms." So we've got heavy lightness, serious vanity. And then he says bright smoke, smoke isn't bright. And so that's to show you that he's a little bit cuckoo. And why? Well, we find out that he's in love, but not with Juliet because he hasn't met her yet. He's in love with a girl named Rosaline. Yes, he is. And he says she will not even entertain the idea of being with me because she has vowed to live in chaste. Well, what is that? What is chastity? Well, she has vowed to live a virgin. So therefore, she's not going to get married and she's going to remain a virgin for the rest of her life. And Romeo says, oh my gosh, you know what? It's just so sad because she's so beautiful and we won't get to get married and make beautiful babies. Like, her beauty has just been so wasted because she can't pass it on to anyone else. She won't even look at me in the eyes, Benvolio. And so Romeo here is just really upset that Rosaline will not even look at him. Where's Juliet in all this? Oh, well, she hasn't come into the picture yet. So next in Act 1, Scene 2, we're going to talk about how Juliet is a rebound.